Alright, TeaDragon, why don't you go ahead and get us started with our first player here.
Yep. Spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map as the red Terran player, it is TY.
And spawning here at the top right corner of the map, rocking the lovely blue. He's the Protoss player from Korea, and playing for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it is ZEST. And oh, we have a little bit of a quick SCV now. This could be either a proxy bar. Actually, it is. Yeah, I was about to ask, is this going to be a engineering bay block? But nope, it is going to be a barracks proxy.
I like it. Open with a bang. Now we do see TY. Yep, there we go. The double gas. So I believe this is going to be quick reapers. Or, is this a quick concussive shell?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be a quick concussive shell, just because there is the quick second gas. If it's just Reapers, it would be only one gas, but with that second one, as ZEST does go ahead and scout this, should know that something is up. There should be a proxy, and we'll see if ZEST does scout. So far, oh, not quite. Oh, he just had a little glimpse of the SCV, but I'm not sure if he was paying attention.
It didn't seem like it. Oh, but the probe is going to sniff out that the SUV is on site building a bunker. Now we're going to have to see how ZEST responds to this first Reaper.
He does immediately throw down the pylon at the low ground, so if you can kind of throw down the shield battery, possibly that will help out. But again, this is a double gas, so this is not like mass Reapers or anything. He is going to go ahead and throw down the factory back at home. But in the meantime, the first Reaper will dive in here into the mineral line. Some nice little pro micro does save two lowly injured probes.
Oh wow, the Reaper actually picks off 3. Going in deep for those injured probes. A 4th probe goes down. Actually, this is a pretty significant amount of damage coming out from our Red Terran as the Reaper does finally get picked off.
Yeah, now the second base of ZEST is much quicker compared to TY, so he can afford to lose a little couple of probes, but maybe 3 would have been, or lower would have been more optimal. But yeah, probably not 4 and above. But he does have the Nexus up and running, but he just needs to clear out this bunker here.
Now I do like this follow-up from TY, going for that Cyclone immediately at home.
Yeah, that Cyclone is more for, I think, more for possibly defensive play. Assuming that, you know, ZEST does clean this up. If ZEST still having trouble cleaning up this bunker, then he might be able to, TY might send the Cyclone across the map to help reinforce.
And the SUV actually did get picked off. Now, what you mentioned earlier, Snoopy, seeing the shield battery go up is actually really good for ZEST, right? So ZEST is going to be able to finally pick off that bunker. The barracks gets floated and the Marines are killed off. Like you said, ZEST is pretty far ahead economically right now with 2 bases to TY's 1.
Yeah, and TY does recognize this. He is going to throw down that quick dirt base as a maneuver to kind of crawl himself back up, because he knows that ZEST in the next minute or 2 is going to go kind of be really ahead in the worker counts.
I like that. Cheeky little Cyclone, just, you know, trying to see whatever damage it can do to the Stalkers before it's finally shooed away.
And boom, that barracks does fall down. Not too much of a big deal. But yeah, it looks like the game has stabilized for the time being. ZEST deciding to go for the Twilight Council or Blink Rail, especially since he already kind of made a lot of Stalkers in the beginning. So this is not a bad choice. And also, you know, with Blink Stalkers, you can blink on top of those Cyclones. So that should help out in kind of defending these pesky Cyclones.
Yeah, now like you said, that 3rd CC out of TY has finished and is morphing into an orbital right now. But, I mean, look at ZEST, right? Already with that 3rd basically complete. Now that Cyclone actually did get a pick, but created one of its own for that. Now we're gonna have to wait and see if Zest... Do you think that this is an offensive blink or just defensive?
Probably defensive, just because the Cyclone's actually getting some nice stalker kills here, dwindling the numbers. Can't really do too much with this low amount of stalkers, and yeah, this blink upgrade is like taking forever, it seems, for Zest.
Yeah, those two remaining stalkers on the front line taking significant amounts of damage. So excellent Cyclone micro out of TY.
Yeah, for sure. And look at these Cyclones, so low in life, but TY gonna go ahead and just quickly repair that, no problem.
I do like this opening from TY, compensating heavily for the economic, not loss, but, you know, just sort of not being able to take the lead by saying, hey, you know what, I'm just going to build a couple of tanks and you can't hurt me anyways, so might as well.
Yeah, he's just going to use the, I mean, he does see a lot of Blink Stalkers, and one of the counters besides Marauders are in those tanks. It makes the Protoss have to kind of decide whether they want to commit to the blink, and so yeah, tanks not that bad, not that too shabby against the blink stalkers.
That's right. Speaking of commitments, it looks like TY is really starting to gear up for what possibly looks like a stim combat shield timing, although +1 bio attack is a little bit further behind, so I'm gonna have to wait and see what moves both players decide to pull out here.
Yeah, looks like both players are just content with kind of establishing their dirt base, kind of macroing up. We do see Zest, though. He is preparing for maybe a timing attack, as there are a good amount of gateways. The Warp Prism is about to pop out. Dark Shrine actually going down as well, so looks like he might go for a kind of a commit attack and then kind of follow up with a DT drop or something.
Gotta be real careful with those stalkers off to the east side, because I mean, a couple of tank shots and they're dead. Now that Immortal actually getting picked just barely survives from the two Cyclones, and yeah, like you said, we're gonna have to see how Zest handles this first engagement. It looks like TY is actually just gonna lift off the third CC and hurdle up just a little bit for now. Excellent game sense, you know, just noticing that Zest is definitely gonna come in here for an attack. Now these Zealots are charging forward. That supply depot wall actually helping out a lot, but these Zealots still find an opening. Now it looks like the bio is going to survive. Some boys are pulled off the line, but yeah, I don't know, Zest, like that was not ideal. This bio is stimming forward. Another round of Zealots does come in, but I don't know about this. Without any sort of splash, right, it's really hard for Protoss to engage stim bio like that.
Yeah, the thought is that, you know, he kind of try to overwhelm the numbers of the Terran, but TY does have the kind of the kiting maneuver that he can utilize to kite some of these charge lot.
Yeah, definitely. Now we do see another set of SUVs being pulled off the line. I do like these Widow Mines a lot, though. You know, they're definitely going to do really well against the charge lots, and we actually did see a pretty big hit off on the Immortals and Stalkers earlier. Now at this point in time, 11 SUVs, 12 SUVs have fallen. The Widow Mines are finally cleaned up, but still, we've got that stim bio in the back. I love it. The natural CC is actually lifted. So many SCVs are actually going down. A Warp-in does get denied just barely by the Marines shelling away at that Warp Prism. Now, it looks like Zest is just barely not going to come out of this with all of his units. Or, oh, I can't even tell. Just 4 Stalkers and an Immortal left, and oh my god, GG is called. Zest takes game 1. Game number 2, here on Lightshade LE, spawning in the top left corner of the map, playing as the Red Terran, it is a Freak of Freaks TY.
And this man here at the bottom right, one game away from clinching the series. Can he do it? Make some noise for Zest.
Now, remind me, Snoopy, how common is it for Protoss to wall off the low ground against Terran? I don't think it's that common anymore, is it? If it ever was.
Yeah, I mean, with the increased Hellion play, because, you know, right now, not as many people, or not as many Terrans are opening with the Reaper opening. Some good chunks are opening up with a Marine first, which means faster factory, which means also faster Hellions. And in order to prevent the Hellion run by, you do see sometimes that Protoss will go ahead and wall off on the low ground instead of the high ground to kind of take out some of the pathway, the avenue for those Hellions kind of run by. Yeah, well, I guess Hellions don't really run; they kind of ride by it instead.
Yeah, drive by.
Oh yeah, drive by. Yeah. That's
yep. It looks like a very standard opening from both players. We see that Gateway Cyber Nexus from ZEST. We see that Rax in the normal position at home. Kind of curious to see that SCV building a little bit off center. Obviously, it's just a aesthetic, as the CC can in fact lift off, unlike the other buildings for the other races.
Yeah, of course, that is all due to this pesky little probe. And it's going to be a little bit of adjustment. Won't be too long to just realign that CC once it's done. But in the meantime, we do see a Marine opening here by TY. Gonna get the reactor on that rack. So yeah, it's looking pretty much like possibly might be a Widow Mine with some Marine push of some sort, maybe.
Would be interesting to see. Are we talking like a 2 medevac type of deal?
No, just one. I think one filled with some Marines. They kind of fly into either the natural or main, and then the Hellions will attack the other side. Or Widow Mine, actually, rather.
Right.
Oh, as I say that, he does lift the factory. So okay, yeah, it's gonna be probably gonna be Hellions instead. The first initial Marines are just for safety, of course.
Right. Very nice. And we do see ZEST starting up Blink, just like last game, but this time without any sort of impediments to his early game economy. I like that, a cute little bit of a dance as the Marines just barely miss the Adept shading into the natural. Now the Marines are actually moving across, and they will see... The Adept actually sees the Marines before the Marines see the Adept. That's kind of cute. But I believe the Shade also did scout out the first 2 Hellions, so ZEST immediately starting that low ground wall, like you said, plugging it with a Pylon and a Stalker. Alright, here we go. Just barely. So we do see the first wave of Marines not quite dealing the damage that they wanted to, putting those 2 first Stalkers into low health, but then another warp-in of Stalkers, and those Hellions just got blocked barely in the nick of time.
Yeah, that was...
That feels comfortable enough to put up a third, actually.
I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, that was as perfect as a defense. He didn't lose absolutely anything during that attack, while TY, he lost 5 Marines during that engagement.
Yep, 5 Marines for basically nothing. That is not how you want to play.
Yeah, now let's see if TY can get some damage done with this follow-up Hellion drop. There are no shield batteries in the mineral line, so these probes are actually going to be pretty exposed here. And actually immediately getting 7. Can he get more?
It's always so easy to underestimate how quickly Hellions can roast probes. Oh, and at the natural, these probes, I was going to say, they were being pulled towards the Widow Mine. Excellent blink, just barely getting out of that Widow Mine's blast, but Widow Mine does get taken care of by the Stalkers.
Yeah, so all in all, let's see here. How many probes have been lost? 8 probes.
Yeah. Not really the best start, but now we're going to have to wait and see how TY defends against ZEST's Blink Stalker Micro.
Oh, but you know what? Yeah, that Tech Lab with the stim is pretty exposed. I wonder if ZEST is going to target fire it. That would be pretty nice if he can kind of take out stim researching.
Yeah, and it looks like he will start targeting, and some boys are pulled. Oh, can the repair go off in time? That Tech Lab getting super low. We see the aggressive blink forward, taking out the first siege tank. Now the second siege tank is taken out as well. So a lot of SCVs are going down as they are pulled off the line, but that Tech Lab is still living, and a lot of those Stalkers are very, very low health. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to pick up that Tech Lab for now. Now we're gonna have to wait and see how many SCVs are picked off here. Those 4 Marines in the back, dealing their damage. Eventually, I think these Stalkers are gonna be... Oh, not quite. Look at that Warp Prism Micro, keeping them alive, and... Oh! I called it. What'd I tell you? Yeah?